If you're watching this, your sleep probably sucks, and you're definitely not alone. Most first responders suffer from some kind of sleep disorder. The last study I read was 40% suffer from some kind of insomnia, sleep apnea, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, and that's just firefighters. Other first responders also have this. So a lot of times melatonin gets brought up because I think people think melatonin is just like this knockout drug that you can take and it's 100% effective. You're always going to fall asleep and you're always going to stay asleep. It is a great thing to take as far as hormones go, but it doesn't work for everybody. And in starting this company and doing lots of reading on sleep and trying to talk to experts, I've learned that sleep is so complicated, and it's not something that is a one solution fix. You can't just take melatonin and think it's going to fix you. You can't just take CBD and think it's going to fix you. You have to understand what's causing your sleep to fail and address that individually. There could be hormone imbalances that cause your sleep to be screwed up. If you are exercising too late in the day, or if you're a CrossFit fiend and you have very high cortisol levels as a result, then you have to work on getting your cortisol levels down, either by supplementation or by working out very early in the day so that your body kind of naturally reduces its cortisol before you go to bed so it doesn't keep you up. That's one thing. Another could be the fact that you are exposing yourself to bright light or white light too late at night, either from shift or from bad habits at home, and in which case melatonin could be a great supplement that could help create that recalculating or the recalibration of your circadian rhythm. And in that case, melatonin's killer. But sometimes people don't have a problem staying asleep, they have a problem falling asleep. And in which case CBD might be a good benefit, because CBD helps reduce stress and anxiety, and it actually lowers cortisol. So at night when you're starting to feel like your brain is just running around in circles, or you can't feel like you're relaxed, you just have tension, CBD is a good benefit because it will reduce that stuff naturally. It doesn't, it's not like a drink so it's going to keep you up, because you have to use the bathroom or anything like that. And it's natural. You can take it, every day without worrying about failing a drug test. There are tons of benefits to CBD. We have a whole other, video and blog and podcast on that. But the idea is, you can work on these things together and figure it out. Melatonin can make you feel groggy. CBD does not. So if having trouble falling asleep is part of the problem, melatonin could be an option. Also, magnesium, but a specific type of magnesium threonate. It's threonate, threonate. And 200 to 500 milligrams of that is what I've read and heard from neurologists talking about giving you the feeling of relaxation before bed and helping you have that smooth muscle relaxer to feel like you could get tired, and the melatonin will actually help you stay asleep, or the CBD will improve your REM, which it's shown to do in the majority of people that take it. So those things in combination are pretty cool to try and see how you feel. But I wanted to talk about melatonin supplementation in general and say that you don't have to take what's called exogenous melatonin or melatonin pills. It is a hormone, and I know a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to take hormones. I've read a lot of research that says that taking melatonin long term is not harmful, but I've also read doctors saying they don't like people taking melatonin long term because it is secreted by your pituitary gland. And what we know about hormones is if you take them long term, the areas that are secreting them could start to shrink. So we don't want to mess with that. The theory and the practice are maybe two different things. It's really just about knowing what you need and talking to your doctor if need be. But it is universally accepted from everything I've read that melatonin can be taken short term with no worries whatsoever. I think what happens is people might take too much. You're only supposed to be taking half to 5 milligrams. So playing with that dose, maybe starting low and working your way up to 5 milligrams and seeing if that's what you need. is probably the better thing. I've talked to people that say they take like 15 milligrams of melatonin, and that can actually cause you to have poor sleep. So it's doing the opposite of what you want it to do. Start low and then increase if you need to. But instead of taking melatonin exogenously, like a pill, you can take melatonin. You can get an increase in melatonin by taking tart cherry juice at night. And while it doesn't have that much in it, you can buy tart cherry juice concentrate, and only a few ounces of that will give you the same amount of melatonin, a few milligrams of it, that you would be taking via pill form. So that's an option. And then also pistachios. A handful of pistachios is something like 5 milligrams of melatonin. And, the nice thing about eating before bed, besides it being a healthy fat and helping you maybe keep full, is that if you have to drink something before bed, you are potentially waking yourself up to go to the bathroom. So I love the taste of tart cherry juice. I have a very sour palate, so tart cherry juice to me tastes delicious. And but I'll try to drink it an hour before bed, and I usually don't have a problem, not going to the bathroom at night. But pistachios are a killer. One, because I just like the taste of them, but also you don't have to worry about your bladder. Just eat a handful or two, and you can knock out with that. The research on both of these are really cool, and the vast majority of people had an improvement of overall sleep and decreased feeling of grogginess and napping the next day. And I think that's really impressive because it's more than one study that's done it, and it's also something that can be easily purchased and started regularly. So it's something to think about. Personally, my bedtime routine, I would incorporate all those things, but minus maybe the exogenous melatonin, the melatonin pills, because you could always take those just by themselves. But, taking CBD with pistachios or tart cherry juice and maybe magnesium threonate all together, you get the good feeling of wanting to fall asleep without the feeling of grogginess the next day. And you can get improved REM sleep from all of those things that could kind of help you correct your circadian rhythm. So most first responders I talk to, I've heard them say that they actually have an issue staying asleep, not an issue falling asleep. And for me personally, I know that, I would wake up around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because the house I run out of, that's very common for us to get a call between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's almost like I've become a lighter sleeper now because my mind is so trained that once I wake up for a second, that I'm supposed to wake up fully, get to the truck, look at the map, start thinking about what kind of call we're going on. If it's a medical call, I'm trying to think about, what the medical protocols are and make sure I treat the patient appropriately. If it's a fire call, I'm trying to think about hydrants. I'm trying to think about where I'm parking the truck and all that stuff. And it's a way different environment and thought process than if a civilian gets woken up in the middle of the night because their dog barks one time. They just kind of roll over, they still feel groggy, they fall back asleep. I know for a lot of us, once we have that occurrence where we're woken up, it's hard for us to fall back asleep because, especially if you've been on the job a long time, you're programmed that once you wake up, it's go time. And I think that takes some time to break. So changing your circadian rhythm is an important thing. Make sure you help yourself do that at night by stopping screen time, an hour or two before bed. You stop all activities an hour before bed. You just turn your brain off. If you have crap to do tomorrow, you write it down in a journal of stuff to worry about tomorrow kind of thing. Thinking about it at night is going to just produce more anxiety about it. And when I say anxiety, I don't mean like you're having a panic attack. I just mean, if you're supposed to do something today and you couldn't get to it, that's sitting in the back of your head. It's an open loop. You need to close that loop by writing it down and saying, I'm going to worry about this tomorrow. Even if it sounds gimmicky, subconsciously your brain is storing that information and not trying to remind yourself of it because it's handled already. I've wrote it down. I don't have to worry about it now. So that's a good tip. We compiled a list of some of our favorites and some that are research backed by experts. And it's 10 things. With some strategies and tactics for falling asleep faster. You can download that on our website. You just go to our CBD 101 page and go to the melatonin and sleep blog, and The link is going to be down here in the description. You can check that out anytime and download that. You just have to put in your email and we'll send it to you. So it's a really good thing to try to follow. And it does include some of the supplementation we were talking about with CBD and tart cherry juice and melatonin. So you can reference that at any time. But it's important that you don't just stick to the supplementation. Like people that are drinking alcohol every night in excess, like before bed, you're never going to have good REM sleep no matter how much supplementation you take, because that inhibits it. You should still try to take care of yourself. It's about, not overindulgence, or it's about moderation of these things. So keep that in mind too. But if there's anything else or you guys have any questions on this, please reach out anytime. You can email us support@rescue1cbd.com. You can call us, just contact us on our support page, or you can DM us on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere else we're at. Drop a comment if you thought this was helpful, and please share it with the crew. And if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button. We put out a lot of really good content like this, and we're always trying to answer questions. Some of this comes up from suggestions that people give us. So if you have one, please let us know as well with any of those means of contact. Thank you guys so much. Take care of each other and be safe out there.